Good morning. It's Ketosis, Capri Sun, and Pizza Roll in the morning. And we are live. Oh, I think that's enough.
So you brought it back. You finally went with it.
I'm
Our
going to be
wacky
honest.
AM DJ morning radio.
I don't know which one I am.
Me either at this point, and it hasn't been used in months. One of them aren't here ever, and but I'm proud of you for jumping on it.
I thought Gardner was Pizza Roll.
And Capri Sun.
Okay, I thought I was Capri Sun, and you were
No.
Ketosis.
You're Toastus. I'm Key.
Nah, you Ketosis. Isn't that the disease you have when you can hear things 25 miles away?
Who?
No? That's not it?
Something just happened in Wellston. I'm Chris Zebna. That's Travis Terrell. It's We Are Live. We've got Make It Racist today. The great segment with Dr. Ed from Hillside Animal Hospital, known as Dogs on Film. A man named Sean voices that.
A man named Sean.
That's
indeed.
right. We are pumped to be here at the Midcoast Studio in Grand Center, St. Louis, Missouri. Everybody check out midcoast.media for more information. And we're rocking in the studio that Tech Electronics helped us put it together. And we can see our producer, Chris Gardner, the scooter king of the greater St. Louis metro area, the stream queen of parts that I target on Facebook. Good morning, Chris Gardner.
Good morning, gentlemen. And good morning, Walnut.
All right. Put them up, nuts. Put those nuts up, Chris.
Get your nuts up.
There, we'll get the nuts up, Chris.
Get your nuts on the wall.
Oh, yeah. Put them up in
So
the
I drink a
air.
little coffee and let you guys be an idiot for 17 seconds.
Wall of nuts.
Yeah, let it squirt all out your pans and on top of
need
your foreheads.
We need
Why is that?
we need like a wall of top rated listeners? What do they call that?
Top fans?
Top fans. And it could be our
Do we want to have it in the studio?
our wall of nuts.
We want to bring that filth into our workplace?
Well, we don't have to. We have a large wall outside of our office that we can use it for.
Oh, put walnuts out in the public space where
Yeah.
people in the .Zac building
Can
who are
see.
professional, you have performers
we
and
could make
lawyers and
we can make like nut ornaments and put pictures on them. And
I
it
like
could be
that.
the wall of nuts.
That'd be a good thing we could have for, in our gift shop once Christmas season rolls around. We can maybe get Beebs to make a large, like a walnut, and then like cut out a square in the middle of said walnut where we can then put the photos of our listeners and we can sell it to them so they can use it as an ornament on their tree.
A what?
An ornament.
You got South of Lima there.
Yeah, that was.
Sorry, I got a little South County jumped out of me there. My apologies.
Where'd that come
I
from?
don't know. I feel like I've been in Jefferson County the last couple of days.
Oh, you said it right.
Ornament. No, I started watching Escape from Dannemora.
good.
Yeah, I just started that last night. And it's-
Dannemora.
Dannemora? Okay. Well,
Dannemora, my uncle was some Italian heritage. Dannemora.
Where is this prison located?
It's upstate New York.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that really sounds like it then, doesn't it? Yeah. Just very a northern hillbilly accent I just shared with everyone. I apologize, Gardner. I won't do it again.
No, it's fine. It just that it surprised me coming from you.
Yeah.
How far into it are you?
I have just started the second episode.
Oh, you're super.
I'm
okay.
super early into it. I didn't
There
realize.
is a part where Patricia Arquette's character says, "Our family's lived here for 400 years."
Oh, good Lord. She is. What a
She's
phenomenal.
amazing.
I think she
It's
was.
unbelievable.
I think she won an Emmy for this performance in this particular show. I didn't
Oh
realize
my
Benicio del
gosh.
Toro was in this. So
It's
I
a
know
story
Chris had
about
talked
a-
about the
yeah.
prison escape. It happened, a few years ago?
Yeah, a few years ago, some guys were on the run, and this is the part that was out there in the news is they were sleeping with a security guard at the prison, or what do you call that, a corrections officer
The
or
correction
something.
officer.
Or she wasn't an officer. She ran one of the workshops in the prison, and it got out like she was sleeping with both of them. And they escaped. One got killed. One stayed on the run for a little while, and it was a really interesting and unique thing.
Spoiler alert.
Well, it was out there. So
Okay.
it's a
It's a real
Titanic
That's
story.
a
thing.
real story.
And then
Okay, my
it
apologies.
comes out that, and then you see the woman. You're like, okay, she was just getting it where she could. Is what's going on. It was just homely. It just had to be tattooed on Patricia Arquette's forehead for how she attacked this character, like on a daily basis.
I think, but I
so
believe
good.
I believe she won a role. I think
She won
the
for something
Enemy.
else. I thought.
I think she won it for I think she won a Golden Globe for it a year ago. But I think this past Sunday, I believe she won an Emmy for her role in this limited series. Nevertheless, it's an all-star cast. Bonnie Hunt's in it.
So good.
It is very like, oh, hey, Bonnie
guy-
Hunt. Hey, girl. It's been a minute. I ain't seen her in a while. But no, it's a pretty. So maybe that's where I'm getting that accent from because everyone has that very
And he is
country
kind
twang.
of like
Yeah,
that.
it's a country twang. It's like a
It's
mix of.
northern, but it's
Yeah,
but
it's
it's uneducated.
Yeah, it's like someone from Farmington bang someone from Fargo
Huh.
Murphy Settlement.
or
please.
Murphy Settlement.
I will say that the man who plays her husband in that also played an agent in Sicario. Looks much different.
Interesting.
And he's or no, not Sicario, and the Pablo Escobar series on Netflix.
It's called Narcos.
Narcos. Yeah, there you go. Billy Fat Pants has a suggestion for the ornament wall.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to be known as Uncle Baby Billy Fat Pants on the ornament wall.
Uncle Baby Billy.
Big shout out to the Righteous Gemstones. We've now seen Tony Cavaliero's sack and tip.
Oh.
So, and confirmed, they're his. So,
Award winning.
good for you.
Award-winning. Hey, that's how you.
Good for you,
That's
Tony.
how you keep a job on HBO.
Mm-hmm.
Got to show the dang.
The friend of the show has shown his parts.
Yes. Got to show the
That's
dang.
the wall bump. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't see any wall bumps. Good for Tony.
That good for him. That is good for him. Also, shout out to everyone, including the great BJ Novak, who is trying to encourage Danny McBride and Spotify to release "Misbehavin'" for the world to listen to.
What's misbehaving?
"Misbehavin'," of course, for those who are following the seasons of the Righteous Gemstones, is a delightful song that was performed by Baby Billy and his lovely sister.
Amy Lee Gemstone.
And John Goodman's wife, who of course has now passed away, but in flashbacks, they used to be a performing brother-sister duo that would go on tour and sing Christian songs. And one of their popular songs is called "Misbehavin'." Running around the house with a pickle in my mouth, just misbehaving. Delightful lyrics, excellent song. Gardner, you would love it. In fact, I would
gonna read
almost
the
guarantee
lyrics.
you, and not you should,
Is
because
it anywhere online?
I'm sure it is. It has to be
It'll
at
be
some
on
point.
YouTube. I mean, you could probably find it real quick, but here we go. Oh, nope, that's Pentatonics. It's not.
Nevertheless, it's his. But the Danny McBride, I guess they performed it on the set. No one had ever heard it before. They thought it was a real song. It's a song that
It's on YouTube.
that the writers
I'll
wrote.
take a look.
But you have to take a look at it. It is the surprise gem, if you will, of the year.
Okay, so this is from a subreddit. Misbehaving by Baby Billy,
Baby Billy.
and Amy Lee.
And Amy Lee.
Mama told me not to. I did it anyway. Misbehaving. It's real. You know, they do a lot of this, and it helps that Amy Lee is played by the woman who was the front lead singer of a band called Sugarland, which is a Grammy-winning country band that's performed with Dolly Parton and a million other things. So,
And it's an actual
great.
good song. Like, it's not just because it's got a.
I almost just want to play it. If it's not out, we should just pull it from YouTube. Mama told me not to. I did anyway. Misbehaving. Daddy said don't, but I said I'm gonna. Misbehaving. Pies on the windowsill, swimming in the creek, catching crawdads, and playing with a stick. And then the girl. I wore lipstick. Flips over to the Baby Billy, and I got caught shaving. Just two little country kids outside misbehaving. Teacher said don't, but I said it anyway. Misbehaving. Preacher said no. If you do, you're going to pay. Misbehaving. Kicking and a spitting and a cussing out loud. Running through the house with a pickle in my mouth. Playing in the street. Look at me outside waving. Just two little country kids outside misbehaving. We thought we was just messing around till we met that man in the thorny crown. He taught us that the tricks and mischief leads to Satan. So from now on, there's no misbehaving. Mama, won't you look now? I've been good now. I'm behaving. Daddy, won't you listen? Don't you go missing. I'm behaving. Comb my hair and brush my teeth. Make my bed and eat my greens. Wash my hands to keep them clean from Satan. So no more tricks and no more misbehaving. No more tricks and no more misbehaving. Oh, that is your award-winning Baby Billy and Amy Lee song.
It is so good.
And it's just performed it's a Branson act, and they allude to that as well. It's amazing.
It's right now the highlight of a very good first season of the Righteous Gemstones. It's been really fun to watch this season unfold because I think people may have had certain expectations about how they were going to go about in satirizing organized religion, mega churches. And they've hit those points, they've hit those beats, but they've also taken the story a step ahead. They've actually, gone into the life of these families and and how they became who they are, and it's really
unbelievable.
When Chris and I have said
It's
this
more
off the
than you
air.
anticipated.
Way more than we anticipated.
I was
and for
expecting nut shots and making
Yeah.
fun of preachers. This is way more.
We got some of that.
We,
but
and
you
that's the
got more.
thing. We
Yeah.
got a little bit more and more. Exactly. It's actually, and we've said it. And I loved Eastbound and Down. I really enjoyed.
You weren't
Vice
expecting
Principals.
Tip though, were you?
No.
Definitely
no,
wasn't
no, no,
expecting
no.
that. But I think, far as
That
Danny
shirt
McBride's
is not as long as you think.
at that, and then, like I said, you have Adam Devine, who is absolutely brilliant. But it is, I think, again, a big fan of Eastbound, big fan of Vice Principals. But I think this may be Danny McBride and his team's best work right now. So it's a really fun watch.
Unbelievable. So good. Back to the ornament wall for the walnuts. Black Sheep says to just send a quick notice to the Columbia Police Department. You can get a picture for him. So mug shot is what that's called.
Just Columbia?
I believe so.
Okay. I
Yeah.
just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
I know how I've been.
You know your outreach. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are there several areas where we could get your mug shot? Sunshine laws and whatnot?
Let's see. Probably the Justice Center downtown, the Justice Center in Clayton, Maryland Heights, St. Peter's,
Really?
O'Fallon. Just that, I think.
All of those charged or just like you got brought in?
I checked in at least in some of those. I remember getting photos.
Alcohol-related driving offenses?
A couple of them. Not all of them.
Is there anything else interesting that you care to share that you had pulled in for?
Like a bench warrant, though.
Oh, yeah, it does,
Yeah.
that can happen for a speeding.
License, no license.
Okay. Yeah, that's alcohol-related, though.
I'm trying to think what else. I'm trying to think if I'm missing anything. It's hard to remember some things.
I was hoping to hear like an assault or something like you
Oh
did.
God, you ain't got to do it. Gardner doesn't seem like a violent individual.
No, I mean, I had a juvenile record for arson, but I mean,
Jesus, man.
that was an accident.
They always are, aren't they? You know what's not an accident? Oktoberfest at Soulard Market. Oh, Travis, we'll be hosting again.
Oh yeah.
Did you know? Last year, had a blast. They decided to have us back, along with John Pertzborn from Fox 2. We'll be there. It's going to be a fun time. Free entry, people. That's right. It's in the Soulard Market Park. You can come out, have some fun. We can do Stein holding competitions. It's in Soulard. Have you ever heard of Soulard, Gardner? You ever been there?
I have.
Oh, you have. Travis has too. Look at him. He's got a Stein in his hand, just drinking away,
What
having a
kind
good
of
time.
hat am I wearing?
I don't know. You tried to claim this picture yesterday.
A Deutsch Meissen.
Thank you.
Yep,
I
and a
like
Parkway North hoodie. Classic Terrell.
It was cold that day.
Don't forget Brave Combo, Braushofen Brass Band. I really need to have Travis read these.
Do you have
the Deutschmeister Band, Larry Holler, excuse me?
Do you have a flannel on over the?
Oh, yeah.
Did I not say that it was cold? It is Oktoberfest, boys and girls, in Soulard. So I wore layers.
Die Spitzbaum, the Good Times Band, Terry Thompson and Bavarian Stompers. I love the Bavarian Stompers. If it was just Terry on his own, I could take it or leave it. You add the Bavarian Stompers in there, I got a good thing to do. Budweiser, Jägermeister, Stonehill Winery, all making this possible. Again, it's the Soulard Oktoberfest. Travis, you ask, when is it?
Chris, when is it?
11th and 12th of October. Come out, have some fun with us. We'll be hosting, playing games, running around with pickles in our mouths, and it'll be a heck of a time, everybody. Soulard Farmers Market Park. Come out, have some fun. It's been around since 1779. I'm excited to be there.
Excuse me?
That's right.
Oh.
Oktoberfest in Soulard. Don't follow up on the thought that's brewing in your head right now.
Didn't even do anything.
No, but he didn't say you did.
I said brewing.
He said you were basically thinking about something.
I just know where you were going to take that.
See,
So-
as Dean Martin saying, Travis,
Uh-huh.
you can't go to jail for what you're thinking,
Thank God.
but you
Great
act
point.
on that.
Yeah.
Whole nother thing.
I have a question, and it's very important. One of the folks from Travis community, Terrence Howard, said he'd be proving some stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
I need to know, did it happen?
I didn't see anything.
Because I'm still tethered to the ground.
I was very curious and I got distracted
Disturbed?
some yesterday. Well, yeah, it's fair as well. But I didn't see anything happen. He said he was going to be on YouTube proving gravity was an effect, not a force. recreating the planet Saturn in some way. Maybe showing us how to open the flower of life properly.
Yeah, he did.
But I didn't see anything.
I didn't see anything either. But I did see a story about, I guess, I think Terrence Howard is having a mental breakdown because I believe he just had a settlement with his ex-wife that did not go his way. And so I think right
And you're
now
qualified to make this diagnosis.
well, I just feel like
Diagnoses.
he seems to be exhibiting symptoms
Okay.
of someone that potentially, you got to think about it, a job that is handsomely paid him over the last handful of years is coming to an end. So the likelihood of him finding immediate work is going to become a little bit more difficult, which is always an anxiety every actor has to deal with. You're talking about a guy that, you can hear some of his feelings being hurt, being at the Emmys, him talking about his star, but not being nominated. I think he's a guy that sees his career potentially winding down, his relevancy in the community winding down. And so I think he's talking out his ass. I think he's going through it. I think he just needs an emotional break. I think right now Terrence Howard is, man, I really was looking forward to the Gravity video.
Yeah, I mean,
because I thought that
don't
was
promise me that.
I'm not saying that. I say this a lot, but I think that would have legitimately been a game changer.
Yeah, I think so too.
And also, I like opening flowers, if you know what I mean. I'm trying to see how to properly open one. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I've been doing it wrong this entire time. The internet often lets me know that things that I've been doing wrong for years. So if I haven't found a way to properly open up a flower, Terrence Howard, please show me.
The flower of life.
And that's, who doesn't want the flower of life? I want it. I'm sure it's good. Put some seasoning on it. I eat it.
Right.
So it was disappointing, but I think Terrence is going through it, and I think we just need to send him our thoughts and prayers.
That's what usually fixes things.
I don't know about that.
I feel like that's the only way we can solve things in this country. Sometimes, like, what is it, 45% thoughts and 55% prayers?
It depends on the person.
Okay.
Really.
Do we have any updates on more people Tekashi 6ix9ine has ratted out?
We have not discussed this at all.
My favorite one is the Stingray.
I need Travis to help me out here because I don't know who this person is, and I don't
He's
know
playing
what's.
coy so he can be part of it.
No,
I knew that they were a rapper. That's all I know. I don't know their songs. I don't know anything like that.
Right.
I know he's in court, and I know people have been saying he's just been snitching, but I don't even know why or what has happened for him to need to snitch, I guess. So what is the deal with this guy?
So Tekashi 6ix9ine, a.k.a. Daniel Hernandez, jumped on the scene, I want to say, around 2017, late 2017, early 2018. And he was this very eccentric rapper, as you can see for those who are watching the video at home. The guy has rainbow-colored hair, locks that come down to his shoulders with a giant 69 tattooed above his right eye. He has multiple face tattoos, multiple tattoos on his neck, arm, sleeve, chest, etc.
Skittle teeth, too.
Skittle teeth, indeed. Chris is correct. He has rainbow teeth. He has
like a rainbow grill.
like a grill, but it's in different colors.
That's impressive.
He jumped on the scene. He on the rap scene, and he started to garner a lot of attention when he started to call out real life serious gangs in places like Chicago, New York, and LA. He was a very boisterous individual that no one had heard of, and he had street cred, and people didn't understand how, but apparently he had made an allegiance.
He was being given a street pass, you mean?
They
Said he had cred?
They gave him cred because he was associated with an actual gang.
Which one?
I think it's called the Trey 9 gang, if I'm not mistaken. And
I'm there.
This gang is very affiliated, if you will, and so from what we're learning from the trial,
I mean affiliated,
that they're pretty well known in not only the street community but also the law enforcement community, and they have been known to have ties to other bigger gangs. And
are they like a franchise?
Very much so. There you guys go. They are, to a degree, a bit of a syndicate,
So
a
it's
gang
like-
that has ties to
locally owning
guns
a
and
McDonald's or
drugs.
something?
They have ties to the underbelly world,
Okay.
if you will. And so Tekashi used this clout to basically embolden his brand. He became this, larger than life figure where
Is he a good rapper?
he was a rapper, but I think because he was just so reckless and he was just so willing to, put himself out there and call out these other big shots in the industry, he started to gain clout. His brand grew, and he became this internet viral sensation the youth were flocking to. But what
Okay.
happens is that when you're that loud, when you're that colorful, certainly, you begin to actually expose the entity that didn't necessarily want to be exposed. So according to the trial, apparently the agreement was that all the money that he would make from his concerts and his record deals, he would give a percentage of that to the gang so they can maintain his street cred. So he would get, 70% of whatever he was supposed to bring in as his artist, but he knew that
It's like the mob.
very much. There you go. You guys are starting to piece this bad boy together.
Frankie Valens out of this.
So last week,
Fair.
so he essentially was arrested. It was later discovered that the federal government was building a RICO case. He had he was being followed essentially by government agents over the last year, and they basically watched him commit several crimes so they can now put him, as they say, Chris, in the box. They put him in the box. So he became the star witness then for the federal government once he got put in the box, because they said, look here, kid, we know you're associated with this gang. We know you've seen what they do. We know you've given them money. If you do not cooperate with us, you're looking at close to 47 to 50 years in prison.
That's a long time.
That is a very long time. And for a person who
That's
did
more
not...
than Steve Stenger.
Yes, it is. And for a guy that did not grow up in the culture, did not grow up in the streets, did not come from that world, 47 years might as well be 4,700 years. It's just the idea of spending that much time in prison,
So
even
he
for...
bought his street cred. It's like buying,
Yes.
he bought his followers. on
Yes,
Twitter.
there you go.
He was
yes.
Yes.
Very, very well said. That is actually very well said. So the federal government, it's called the Nine Trade Gangs, the Bloods Crew. Excuse me.
Okay, some of these memes make more sense now.
There you go. So in 2019, 6ix9ine pleaded guilty. In January of this year, he pleaded guilty to racketeering, conspiracy, and 8 other crimes. Without his cooperation with the federal government, he faces up to at least 47 years in prison.
Oh, at least.
So for 3 days this past week, he told the court all about the inner workings of his former gang.
Sang like a canary.
Sang
Oh.
like a canary.
So then this meme here makes
Oh,
more sense
so
to
good.
me now.
There you go. Breaking rapper 6ix9ine has identified Prison Mike, a.k.a. Michael Scarn, as part of the Nine Trade Bloods.
I think my favorite of these is they're like judge. They're like it's the judge speaking. He says he's still got 20 years left, and he's like, all right. And he holds up a picture of a stingray. He goes, "This is the man. This is the stingray that got Steve Irwin."
Yeah.
So terrible.
Yeah, it's
So
the
he
internet is unforgiving.
He just on everyone.
Oh my
yeah,
goodness. He goes
everyone.
on. He explained literally in
I mean,
court.
they're
my
like, you've said too much.
Yeah, he really, I think he went above and beyond for the prosecution, honestly. There's a moment in court where he says, my job was to just keep making hits and be the financial support for the game so they could go, for the gang, so they could go buy guns and stuff like that. My career, that's what they gave me in exchange. I got the street credibility, the videos, the music, and the protection, all of the above. So he was, and this was a trial for one of the other members of the gang, so he was the star witness in their trial.
Oh, just one member.
Multiple members.
Oh, okay.
Multiple members. So Anthony Ellison and a gentleman by the name of Jeremiah Mack.
Huh?
Jeremiah Mack and Anthony Ellison.
Okay.
Said he described them as 2 high-ranking members of the gang that terrorized city streets with drug dealing and gunfire.
Now, my understanding is they were discussing putting this Tekashi 6ix9ine fella
Yes.
into witness protection.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the idea. Now, I don't know how witness protection works. I think we've seen enough in television and films to have a general idea, but I don't think we ever know the actual details. But if you have not ever seen Tekashi 6ix9ine, for those who are listening, I would highly suggest that you Google him. And once you see who this young man is, Mr. Daniel Hernandez, you will see why that could be a little bit difficult to just fade into the background when he has about, and I kid you not, if you have not seen this man, he has a giant 6'9" above his right eyebrow that's about the size of a dollar bill. And it's completely stretched across the face. And then, as Chris pointed out, he can take the grill out, but he's been seen, of course, with Skittles teeth and in very, very colorful hair. You can dye the hair, and I guess, I mean, the government.
He's
going to
have to get like skin grafts to like change his. I mean, he may need the Epstein plastic surgery.
He might become white.
He may have to. Right. He may be.
Might want to embrace the Asian side of his heritage.
Confuse somebody. Yeah. So that's where we stand with Tekashi 6ix9ine. He will likely still do time in jail, less just not the 47 years.
Oh.
But this is what happens when you invite cornballs into the culture. You invite people who just simply want clout and attention and internet fame into the culture, and you bring him into your life, especially the gang life. You have to anticipate that he's going to, if he's hemmed up, if he's put in a box, that he's going to do what he can to save himself. And I think this should be a lesson. This should be a lesson for, like, just people in general. We talked about this before on air and even off. Like, it's important to, stay in your lane. Stop going out and playing with, as the streets say, away games. You can't be something
road
that
stands?
you're not. Road stands.
As they're known.
Thank you. But it's, as much of a shame it is to be snitched on, I'm sorry, guys, you brought it on yourself. Stop letting everybody into your house who you don't know.
Are you talking to gangs right now?
I was not. I will not. I will never, ever use this platform to address any
I am off the screen.
criminal syndicates.
Camera's just on you.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Chris Denman.
No! No!
I live in...
No, that's Troy! Is it acceptable if he does blackface in witness protection?
You know what?
I may suggest that. You may want to get some makeup to cover up that 6'9".
I think you do what you got to do at this point.
I think you do.
You can take the heat on Black Twitter for that one.
Yeah, that at this point, once you snitch out an entire gang, I think all bets are off. You're allowed to basically go to town.
You're not worried about offending anyone.
Yeah, you can go
or the history of
full Trudeau. Go full Trudeau, my friend. Whatever you got to do.
Somebody like this guy who's had this and the trappings that he's had, he'll out himself at a certain point. Social media, he won't be able to stay off social media, right?
But here's the thing.
I mean, Sammy the Bull Gravano eventually outed himself, even too.
Yeah,
he's not, I don't know.
But Sammy the Bull kind of got in trouble in witness protection. I think he was like selling pills and stuff like that.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Then went and wrote a book and.
Yeah.
He's the government's responsibility now. He was a star witness in a major federal trial. I would imagine they've made it very clear to him of the ramifications of him going into witness protection, and so.
Well, send you to a different country.
I mean, I don't know where. I don't honestly.
I would.
The type of fame he had, it's like all encompassing,
no, that's
internet, big time thing.
That's a good question. I don't know the answer, but if you can, I would have to think that is most certainly on the table if you want to be effective with what you're doing.
If he dimed out that many people, they owe him a couple plane tickets, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, again, I don't know necessarily, and I think that's a good thing that we don't know the details of how witness protection works. That's a good sign. But I think, you can't imagine a guy like that goes to, that he can blend in even in a major city. You can't go to Chicago or L.A. or New York or Miami. There are gangs on gangs on gangs.
I'm in an open space in Australia or something.
That's what I'm saying.
So I don't. If you move to even because now with social media.
Yeah.
So now he moves to, I don't know, Upper Vermont. I'm trying to think of the least.
But Daniel,
but I'm saying the point is.
But an Asian Hispanic-looking guy in Vermont, that's going to
stand out.
His name becomes Ryan Garsha.
Right.
Yeah. Hey y'all, is this Tekashi 6ix9ine or whatever? And then he's out. He's out there.
So yeah, I don't. Maybe he has
Because
to
there's
go.
basically surveillance everywhere with a
I
guy
think
like
the
that.
best bet. I mean, he could. I think maybe Canada may be the best bet. Canada is kind of
Ooh,
the
get him in an igloo way up north.
Yeah.
Nova Scotia, something along those lines. Maybe that'll be the best bet for him. But I don't see how he
Be
could.
careful. People go to Nova Scotia.
Yeah, that's true.
I
I don't
mean,
know how does he
Oak
blend it.
Island is off the coast there where
Like
the money
may-
pit is. So
That's a good point.
be careful.
Maybe I don't know. I don't know how it works. Maybe he goes to a place like Kansas City that everyone hates and no one actually wants to be seen there.
nice.
So
Yeah.
that would probably be my next bet.
Did you see someone from KC recently? You've taken
Yeah,
a
you've
number
been
of
kind
shots.
of. Maybe he saw like 3 tweets on Twitter and he blames all of Kansas City for it.
No, I think
you
it's
straw
fair.
man.
I think no. I think Kansas City gets. Look, I think there are times where people from Kansas City, especially those in the Kansas City media, they take their time in getting shots off on St. Louis. I think it's only fair that from time to time I take a few shots at them.
But it's just been recently. I didn't know.
I
If
think
something-
it's the Mike Matheny tie.
Okay.
It's the whole like they took Dick Vermeil, now they're taking Mike Matheny. They take our old work, and yet they turn around and say we're better than St. Louis. You always take our old shit. You take shit we discard. You take shit we don't want anymore. But you're the first ones that St. Louis they're not cool. They're not awesome. But let's do everything like they do.
Both of his parents are Mexican and grew up speaking Spanish. Maybe he should take advantage of that. Is Mexico now a safer bet than the U.S.? Yikes.
But that's the thing.
From Vicky.
like that.
But to that
Yikes.
point,
Yikes.
like, but to that point, because again, this is a largely affiliated gang.
Exactly. Some
Who's to
cartel
say-
get a text.
Exactly. Like, hey man, the guy that interrupted our business,
Our flow.
he's in your neck of the woods. So I don't know where this guy can go. It isn't as if Central America these days is the best safe haven.
We were in Honduras. They do have a cellular network there. It is not quite as good as the one here. You can get outed. There are a lot of Canadian tourists in frickin' Honduras. You can get outed. There are people there. Again, the crime part. Again, you're just under a whole net of surveillance because everybody is a security camera with their cell phone if you're this guy. All it'll take is like, I don't know, is this that guy? Or look at this dude. He kind of looks like that one guy.
how did Henry Hill ultimately expose himself? Like he came out,
I don't recall.
he literally started doing Stern. Like he started doing. Like,
See, that's my thing. That's how
Well,
I don't
some
think
people
a guy like this
survived.
personality can even stay away from any notoriety.
Sounds like a good television show though.
it would be.
Like put him in Alaska or something.
That would be. Chris makes a good
He
point.
goes
Like
into witness protection in Alaska. Rapper had gang connections. Bought it off though. He's not. He's kind of a poser though in reality.
and I think for him, I think if he was just
falls in love?
turned
It's
into a
just-
love story,
it's
has it?
Well,
not-
of course,
it's not
you have to
gonna
have a
work
love
out.
interest.
Yeah,
Oh God.
it's not going to work out. Yeah. You know what does work out? St. Louis Counseling Services.
there you go.
Setting it
That's
up.
what we need to do.
love that.
Setting it up.
stlouiscounseling.org. That's their website. They also have the podcast Mental Health Matters that you can download online. It's produced right here at Midcoast Studio. We're huge fans of their work. They can help schools, individuals, businesses of all income types. Hit them up online for counseling services in the St. Louis area. stlouiscounseling.org is the website. So Travis 69, we're moving on. You're very excited about another crime-riddled thing, and that's the new Adam Sandler movie.
We talked briefly about this at the Toronto International Film Festival a couple of weeks ago. Adam Sandler premiered a film, and it really got a lot of buzz during the film festival because of the cast and the type of role that Adam Sandler was playing. It really caught my eye because I was watching him do an interview, and I saw him do it with Kevin Garnett and The Weeknd, and I was like, what? What kind of what?
I'll just say this. Anything is possible.
Anything apparently is indeed possible because Adam Sandler has this brand new film called Uncut Gems. I believe it drops in December.
The family is the last name Gems, right? Is that what it is?
I don't
And
know.
Yeah.
They're not Jew.
Yeah.
They're
I'm
Jewish.
so
but
confused now.
They're
Yeah.
Jewish, but they won't get circumcised or something. Like that's a Sandler film, right?
That generally would be the Sandler film, and I think that's what maybe some folks had in mind. But this is a serious drama involving a John Turturro-like character that.
No, he's playing John Turturro basically.
So Gardner
I was looking
says-
this up yesterday, and he's been in. Well, I guess Turturro was in like Zohan with with
Sandler.
Sandler.
Well, Totoro was the
this-
butler in Deeds.
And
Right.
Deeds, Mr. Deeds.
So
Yeah.
he's been in. I think he's stolen John
Turturro's
Turturro's look
look.
completely.
Fair enough.
And turned it into whatever he's doing in this movie. Just because we'll show the trailer here in a minute, but this is John Turturro.
Yeah.
Oh, now you really make the case.
This is John Turturro.
Yeah, it is
Remember
John
that.
Turturro. Remember that look. John Turturro, phenomenal actor, by the way.
Yes.
That's
Why not
absolutely-
just let John Turturro play the role?
Well, nevertheless, Adam Sandler has
And
decided.
this technically isn't an Adam Sandler movie.
This
as I-
is not technically an Adam Sandler movie, and we said there are certain things that it has to be. in
Rob
order
Schneider is not in the movie,
He is
so it
not in
cannot
this.
be an Adam Sandler movie.
to be. Kevin James is not dressed up as a woman or on a Segway, so
Chris Rock isn't popping up going, I
Yep.
need to keep funding my good projects.
yet I still feel like Chris Rock may
Might.
show up at some point
It's
in
just
this
like
film.
throwing dice in the street or
Yeah,
something. Just like
yeah.
a bit part.
yeah,
Check
definitely.
the IMDb page.
Well, I will do just that.
Yeah,
This is,
yeah.
but I was very excited because one, it's a pretty badass trailer, and again, this looks like our good friend Adam Sandler is going for that Oscar gold.
That's interesting.
Well, I feel like we watched Adam
It's Oscar
Sandler. We
Globe.
watched him since
Yeah.
we were 8 years old. He's technically a brother of ours. We've watched Adam Sandler do some of the craziest things in his entire life for the last 25 years. We're related to him.
Adam Sandler movies were in the Cocktoberfest bracket last year.
Of course they were, as they should be.
More discussion.
All right, so here's the trailer that's sweeping the internet. Adam Sandler's Uncut Gems.
How you doing, Holly? How's it going? Howard?
Good Pesach out.
All right, Larry, you're a Jew again. Welcome back.
I made a crazy risk, a gamble. And it's about to pay off.
So I want the Celtics to cover. I want the Celtics halftime. I want Garnett points and rebounds.
What do you know?
I don't know. I just know.
Well, I'll tell you what I know. That's the dumbest fucking bet I ever heard of.
Why?
I disagree.
Nice.
Why did he
I
have to put
disagree,
that?
Gary.
Mike Francesa.
What is that?
I started it.
You serious?
You're taking my money all over town, placing bets.
I'm having very serious second thoughts.
Are you serious right now?
I know I fucked up.
Howard, where's the money right now?
Howard, got my money?
Is it too late? I'm done. It means nothing. It meant nothing. Please. Give me another shot.
You like to win, right? This is no different than that.
Black June power, nigga.
This is my fucking way.
You think I'm stupid, Howard? You and your whole fucking family. I heard you resurface your fucking swimming pool. You know how that makes me feel?
Never
You think your life is more important than my life?
know who said that.
I told you about how things were gonna go. You like the way things are going now?
That's my family!
Get the kids out of the house.
You having a good time?
Yes.
This is me. This is how I win. KJ, it's game night. You should be stretching out.
What is he, a coach? Nah, he's just a fucking crazy ass Jew.
This December from A24, who puts out amazing work.
Did we?
Uncut Gems, starring Adam Sandler, Kevin Garnett,
Not
Lakeith
Rob
Stanfield, and The Weeknd. Idina Menzel. She looks gorgeous in that, by the way.
All I'm asking for, as he steals John Turturro's look,
He came pretty damn close.
I saw a lap dance scene there.
Yeah, boy.
Can I get him, at least during that lap dance
Oh, I
scene,
know.
to go, want to touch the hiney?
That would be pretty good.
I was gonna say and when he gets hit in the throat, I fully thought that was gonna be a shot to the nuts. Like, come on. Oh!
Wait. Oh, that's good. You did that good. Hold on. We got to get a close-up of that.
Oh!
Jesus Christ.
Well, I'm conditioned over the last 20 years to expect such a thing.
Yeah.
I do
What are
think the
you
man's
supposed to
extremely
think?
talented. He can do anything he wants, but I can't help but feel like this looks like a trailer that Entourage made. Like, I don't know. It feels like it's from inside the series of
Stole
Entourage.
this man's identity.
Where you say it, where
got
like
pretty close.
they would be like, that's like that Sandler movie he's trying to pull off, and Kevin Garnett's in it doing it. I mean, maybe Kevin Garnett pulls it off. Why do you need Mike Francesa? And I just hope that he does get out of
He's
his own
as
way
bulky
because
or
he is
something.
unbelievably talented. Let's say that. And he reminded me how good he is when he did SNL. Like this, nothing he didn't remind me personally, but when he did SNL recently, it was like, oh yeah, he can do anything he wants to do.
I think, yeah, Sandler's a good actor. I think the thing as far as that's been frustrating for people who followed his career is that you just expected him to continue to evolve, and he kind of fell back on and you don't blame him. We've said it before. If I'm Adam Sandler and I have a production company and a major distribution studio wants to say, hey, we will pay you $20 million for you to do a film with your friends.
And nobody tells you what to do.
So
you take your family to these locations.
Yeah, you go on these exotic vacations, you bring your friends along, you bring a large camera crew, you do a movie for 2 weeks, and you put it out later in the year, and you get the back end of the box office. No one's questioning the business acumen of one Adam Sandler, but you knew as a talent, you just hoped he would continue to evolve. And a lot of people I saw online talked about Punch Drunk Love and his performance in that, and even his performance in Click. Like, people know that Adam Sandler has the chops. We just don't see it often. It's few and far between. So it's just really cool to see him now continue to take on these serious roles, because we get to see another side of him. We get to see a side of him that is sort of serious, and it's better than seeing another Little Nicky. It's better than seeing another. What was the one he did where he did it with Al Pacino, and then he dressed up as a woman, and he was playing himself. Yeah, Jack and Jill. Like, those are the films we believe at this point he should probably just let go.
Adam.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I think like that kind of stuff is kind of a turnoff to a fan base that has long loved Adam Sandler. And again, we get it. It's an easy check, but to see him take on these kind of roles is pretty exciting because it looks very good.
Television writer Chase Mitchell tweet out, I personally think it's rad that Adam Sandler reminds us every 10 years that he's an amazing actor, and that between that time he convinces Netflix he can only shoot a marriage comedy in the Amalfi Coast or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. That's essentially how it works.
I did see, since we mentioned Mike Francesa, WFAN Sports Radio in New York, being in the movie, someone pointed out one of their favorite anecdotes involving Francesa and his former co-host Chris Russo, Mad Dog.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to bring it up here. So it says, Francesa and Russo have grown so accustomed to talking to each other about sports that even when they are talking about something else, they sound as if they're discussing a faked punt or a quirk in the Yankees' schedule. A few years ago, circumstances, Knicks-Pacers conference finals in Indianapolis, Francesa's hotel room, not ready, placed the two of them for an hour or so in a hotel room together, a rare occurrence. When they are on the road, they often stay in separate hotels. I always stay in the best hotel, Francesa told me. This is in the New Yorker. Chris Carlin, their producer at the time, as the show was on WFAN, walked in to find them watching The Horse Whisperer. Carlin started to speak, but they shushed him. On the TV screen, Robert Redford was breaking up with Kristen Scott Thomas. When the scene was over, Russo said solemnly, Mikey, he had to do it. He had to do it. It was the right move, dog, Francesa replied. The right move.
That's absolutely hilarious. That is freaking hilarious. That may be my
This would have been better than their
story.
sports show.
This
Breaking down movies that way.
You know what? They missed it. They screwed up. They should have just transitioned into film. They should have just become the new Siskel and Ebert. They screwed up, man. They missed an opportunity. They would be podcast gold right now. Can you imagine the Mad Dog and Francesa breaking down modern day film?
But like romances?
Yes. Oh my God, they screwed up. They've got. Look, I know right now, Francesa. I don't know how long his little app WFAN situation is going to last, but yeah. Well, Mad Dog's doing pretty well on MLB Network, but if they can figure that out, man, you're telling me that there isn't a podcast company that would not want Mad Dog and Francesa breaking down films?
The Notebook.
Yeah. Can you imagine your film getting reviewed like you're a director and your film is out? And like, what did Francesa and Mad Dog say? What did they give us? Good God! Imagine them breaking down and like Something like Avengers Endgame. I don't know.
Coming up next, why Iron Man is a coward. Thank you. We'll be right back.
Hey man, let me tell you about this Thanos guy. This Thanos guy, look at what he's done. He was able to obliterate half the universe. I don't know.
You snap at me like that, I'll snap right back.
We haven't seen a performance like this since Babe Ruth.
What was Star-Lord doing? Huh? He had the glove, he had the gauntlet off Thanos, and he blew it. He blew it.
That doesn't fly in New York.
I'm just picturing as animated as you see Chris Mad Dog Russo get, and especially when they use the word solemnly. Mikey, he had to do it.
He had to do it.
Pretty fantastic.
What a delight. Somebody screwed up. So, see, they need to get them back together. I didn't catch their sports act until later in the game, until they were all but split up. But if you really want to hook a guy like me in who doesn't know their full story, man, that would be brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. As I like to say, you guys are leaving money on the table. You're leaving money on the table.
You certainly are. Gardner, I'm thinking maybe we get you a menthol break in. We got Dr. Ed in the building.
Oh, okay.
We'll get a break. We'll come back on the other side. Do some Dogs on Film presented by Hillside Animal Hospital, where you take your pets when they need care. Travis Sherrill, how you feeling this morning?
I feel.
It doesn't matter.
Damn.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
No, I feel very peachy, almost impeachy.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. We can't take a break now. We can't. 8:48. Who had 8:48?
Who had 8:48? I just said how I'm feeling. I'm feeling peachy today.
You were doing the
Peachy.
Harlem Shuffle on the roof of the building.
Ah, dang. Travis, impeachment boner is here.
He was doing the cha-cha slide on top of the Dot Zac this morning, just shouting it to the rooftop.
Hashtag Trav's impeachment boner.
Okay,
I
tweet
made
that to @BlackToTheFuture on Twitter. We'll take a quick break. We're live from Midcoast Studio, midcoast.media for more information. Don't forget, we're at Oktoberfest at Soulard Market coming up very, very soon. Quick break. We'll be right back.